Now let's go into the divisional round and get that buzzer ready, Rafa. Let's go into the first Saturday game.
We'll blue chip this one.
Here we go. Right away. Jags at Chiefs. Chiefs minus 8.5. Over under 52.5. Rafa, ring that bell again. He's blue chipping it for you, folks.
I'm going to blue chip the over in this game, 52.5. Mahomes averages 36 points a game in the divisional round.
Damn.
36. So we can count on Mahomes for 36. We just need 17 from the Jags. And if Mahomes starts rolling, it'll be the same thing as this past week. Jags will be throwing and they're Jags are creative on offense. So
they do.
They're going to score
a great
some points.
coach. I like Peterson.
Yeah, I like Peterson.
Pretty good.
I like Peterson.
I like ETN.
Yeah, I don't like, Trevor, but
there's a rumor about that.
I don't like Trevor, but I think they're going to score enough.
Factual about that.
That's facts. I hate him. I don't like him at all. So over 52.5. I like the Chiefs to cover, but I'm going to blue chip the over.
Okay.
So maybe tease down the Chiefs to 2.5. But I definitely like that over 52.5. Mahomes rolls in this round.
There's not a lot to say about the Chiefs. I mean, other than they're really good.
They're really good.
They're the best.
They're really good.
Could they be looking ahead?
That's possible.
I've never seen in this round though. Patrick Mahomes rolls, but there's already articles and that they're already selling tickets for the offside game.
Really?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
That's interesting.
And they're selling tickets. They go on sale this week.
That's crazy.
The neutral site.
The neutral site, which
Jags
is Atlanta.
Don't win, though.
See,
they'll come close, but they won't win that game.
Okay.
For sure.
the Chiefs asked for a different stadium because they're used to playing outside on grass, and in there it's inside in a dome on turf.
Okay.
Get whatever you want.
Well,
Chiefs.
no, you got to throw something out there.
You got to deal with your shit.
We're the number 1 seed, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe by default, but it's number
Still
one.
Number one.
Andy Reid's 27-4 off a bye week.
Woo!
Oh yeah, they roll.
He's always been
They're gonna roll this week.
the best off a bye.
Off a bye week. He's
Man,
drawing
with McNabb, he couldn't lose for a while off a bye week. He was amazing.
Drawing fake mustaches on guys.
Oh, for sure.
On
well, he didn't
airplane.
travel this week, so not this week.
Oh yeah,
not
no,
this week.
yes.
So maybe that trip down to
not
Atlanta.
a lot to say about that game. I think it's going to be a good game. Hopefully, Trevor got his interceptions out of the way for the playoffs.
I think he will. We'll see what happens.
It all comes down to that defensive tackle for Kansas City Chiefs. He's dominant.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones is dominant.
Chris Jones, he had an amazing game.
Yes. So that's that game. Blue chipped it, Rafa.
Over 52.5, Kansas City.
2.5, and throw a teaser if you'd like. Let's go into the next game, which is a divisional playoff game. You gotta love it. I think the two coaches of the year, but it's Giants in Philly. Philly minus 7.5, over under 48.5.
Eagles roll, stamp it.
Eagles roll.
Eagles
Hawks
roll,
jumped.
Whoa, he fucking jumped out there. He's like, fucking Jalen Hurts, 42 touchdowns.
If he almost jumped over here and hit that bell.
He jumped on the
hit
buzzer.
that bell.
So Jacob likes the Eagles. First game they played 48-22. Jalen Hurts played that game. Giants were going through a rough patch that time. So they had lost like 4 of 5 or whatever it was. Line 7.5. The team is still young, right? And they went and got this road win. Does that now kind of like, okay,
we believe.
You think so?
They believe.
You think they show up?
They think they have the best coach in the NFL, and the coach is telling them.
He's an amazing coach.
Amazing
running back.
Yeah.
The thing is that quarterback against his defense.
Yes.
Dude, Danny Dimes gets first downs with his feet. Hey, blue chip that shit.
We're going to blue chips the Eagles. Blue chip the Eagles minus 7.5. They're going to roll them. I believe they are going to roll them. I think Jalen Hurts is ready to roll. I think that offense, they're not going to be able to stop these guys. This is not Minnesota.
That's my MVP of the league.
Jalen Hurts?
Yep.
Over Mahomes?
Yep.
He missed how many games? 3, 4?
3 games. And
They played a lot differently without him.
I agree with you.
Yes, they did.
I agree with you. If Mahomes wouldn't have played, Chiefs would have won 3 games.
Early Super Bowl pick from Daisy. Chiefs versus Philly.
Oh, nice.
Right,
Daisy.
nice.
Daisy, where you been?
She's here now.
All right. Good to hear from you, Daisy.
Thank you for chiming in.
2 blue chips right off the bat. Boom. We have the
Eagles
over.
-7.5. Over is 48.5. What do you think?
I like the over. For the simple
I
fact
think the over-
is for the simple fact that you have 2 mobile quarterbacks that get first downs and extend plays.
I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be able to do what he did
He won't.
last week
Oh, I don't.
to this
won't.
Eagle
Yeah.
defense.
He won't.
There's no way.
I don't think that either. But he still extends. He's a tall dude. He's athletic, man. He's athletic.
That Eagle defense has seen this team
They're
before.
solid.
A lot of people are like, oh, the last game was 22-16 and Hurts played.
They were up.
And the backups. The game, it was 13-0
over.
at halftime. You felt like it was over,
It was
right?
over.
You
was
felt like it
close.
wasn't. There
They
wasn't
gave
any.
up second half.
Yeah, I agree.
It's over, Johnny.
I agree. That's why I like the Eagles. The over, I'm a little bit wouldn't touch.
I
That's the
wouldn't
one
touch
where
that
I'm
either.
like, I think that it could be something like 20.
24 to like 17, maybe.
Oh,
like,
I don't know about that. I think more 28-10.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Somewhere in
All
there.
right.
28-10,
Okay.
28-13, something like that. So, but I do like the Eagles to definitely come out and slap them in the mouth.
Well, those are our Saturday games.
By the
And-
way,
yes.
let's blue chip the Eagles first half.
Oh,
We're gonna blue chips the Eagles first half. It
Money
should be
line or
4.5.
spread?
It should be 4.5.
first half
Oh,
blue
wow.
chip.
I like that. The Eagles have been they were the best first half team in the league for most of the season. And against the spread, they were amazing. They weren't a great second half team. First half team with Jalen
go
Hurts,
first half all
they were one of the best in the league, if not the best. At least the first 7 or 8 weeks, they couldn't lose the first half. So until a mush friend of mine took them first half and they didn't even show up.
Eagles -4 first half.
There you go.
Yeah,
-4.
I like it.
Eagles
I
-4
love it.
first half. I like that. Let's ride with that.
We're riding.
Right.
We're riding with that. So those are our Saturday games. Rafa gave you 3 blue chips in 2 games
I love
Yeah.
it.
on Saturday.
I love it. We're on fire.
So, he only gave you 3 last week. He's already given you 3 in the first 2 games on Saturday. Okay. So now let's roll into Sunday. And this is probably the most, Sunday's going to be.
Sunday are the games,
You got to
man,
watch
right?
these games together,
Dude,
Rafa.
I work on Sundays, brother. I would love to, but I work every day. So
Yeah, Rafa.
Sunday,
he grinds.
I watch these games on a computer. So when you guys are texting, I literally, like, when I'm watching the game, I fucking put my phone on silent and I turn it over because I'm like dude, 30 seconds at least.
Yeah.
From you guys. So when I see somebody's, oh wow, what a play, I'm like, fuck, something happened.
Something's happening.
Something's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Shit.
So, Bengals in Orchard Park. Okay, Bills -4.5, over under 48.5. This is the game that wasn't, right? And thoughts and prayers to Mar. He was gonna be at the game last week. I'm interested to see if he makes it to the game this
Might be
week.
there this week.
What a great story. But man, that Bills struggled last week.
I think
Man,
it's
I
a
don't-
one-off.
I don't know if, when I watched, I got to a point, and there's 2 points in the game for me. Like halfway through the second quarter, I felt like it was over, right? And then they get back into it. They let them back into it,
Yeah, they
right?
did.
The interception,
It was 17-0.
100%.
Yeah.
Then in the second half, when they're up 10, and you think, oh, okay,
This is where it's
this is
over.
where they're going to put the floor down, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Which is a lot different than what the Niners have been doing lately. They proved it again in the second half.
Yeah.
That when they got to Seattle, got tight, and they
Took the
just
point of your
floored them. And they've been flooring a lot of teams like that in the second half, except for the Raiders because of Stidham. But we know that. So this line opened at 4. Eddie has it at 4.5 now. I've seen it at 5 at a lot of places. I think MGM today was at 5 still. So this one for me is a stay away.
I think Bills not roll them, but I think they win by 5 at least.
5's such a hard number, and I like for years when the line's
the
5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you always
5's
say
a
that.
fucked up number. You don't, something will happen. It'll end at 5,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Now, this is a crazy stat. Bengals are 8-1. The last 9 to the under. The only one that went over was last week by 0.5 point. That game last week, right? Bengals didn't do anything on offense. 8 playoff games in a row, they were under. Even last week, if you bought that 0.5 point because it was at 40.5, it's still there, but they went over. The Bills, last 4 playoff games, over. Last 4 at home, over. Last 4 in January, over. So that kind of that total is a little tough,
Yeah,
and the
that's
number's big. It's 48.5 is what it's sitting at. So for me, it's both tough. If the line ends at 5, I won't touch it. If it's at 4, I like the Bills. And I like the Bills because the Bengals didn't impress me last week at
They
all.
looked horrible.
Okay, but this is what I think. Because you cannot go that we'd say it all the time, week to week. You can't say, well, they look like shit last week. I mean, that means nothing. I think
then the Bills
that
too.
offense, I think that Bengals offense, depending on weather, I think it's just going to be cold, right, Eddie? I'm not sure.
It'll be cold. I don't know what
It's
can you
Buffalo.
get weather
It's gonna
report,
be
Eddie,
freezing.
please?
Yeah, get us a
It's
weather
gonna be
report.
Buffalo. It's
I'll
probably
tell you this.
freezing.
I know where you're going, and the Bengals had a great run. They made it to the Super Bowl. Second-year quarterback, first full season, etc. None of the games went over. They didn't score. The Raider game, Carr makes a better play at the end. They lose.
Yeah.
Chiefs game, Mahomes forces that ball to the tiny hill. Okay, the Titans game,
Tiny hill.
the tiny cheetah. the Titans game, Tannehill throws a pick, gives them short field. They need 13 yards or whatever for a field goal. Yeah. They didn't. Their offense in the playoffs has not gone off even close. Even close. And they've all been one-score games. They proved it again last week. They had a one-score game. Their offense didn't go off. So if the Bills go off, can they keep pace? And in the playoffs, even though they had a Super Bowl run, they didn't prove it. They didn't go off. So, and I understand. But they had one playoff game already,
Yeah.
and they didn't do shit on offense. They had one good drive, I think.
What's that weather look like, Eddie?
So it'll be in the low 20s, 30% chance of snow with winds potentially going up to 20.
Ooh, that's
See,
not
okay,
yeah.
so the wind plays in favor of the Bengals because the Bengals can run the ball.
Yes,
The Bills cannot run the ball.
Bills cannot.
Unless it's Josh Allen. Cook did okay last week. Dalvin's little brother, right?
Yeah.
He did okay last week. Can they get him going? That Bengals defense.
That Bengals defense, I love Hubbard.
Depends
man.
on what the wind is. I'd lean towards the under. And if you lean towards the under, you always got to lean towards the dog.
Yes,
So
I just this is one of those things.
it's going to be one of those games. It's early in the week. We'll see how it goes.
I know.
I mean,
Michelle's
Jacob
rooting
likes the
for
Bills,
Bengals.
right?
I do like the Bills. Yes, I think the Bills win.
Okay.
And you said no blue chips.
No blue chips in this game.
Okay, so let's go into Sunday Night Football, and this is a classical. This is a classic.
This is a classic playoff game.
Barcelona and Real Madrid.
More like Giants, Yankees, but not Barcelona, Real Madrid. But this is,
Cowboys 49ers.
Yeah, this is like Steelers, Raiders, pretty much.
Civil War.
This is yes.
Yeah, there's going to be Mexicans on both sides. talking
War.
and then the
Yes.
Mexican Raider fans are just going to be like,
Like,
chill out,
yo,
vato.
chill out.
Let these little putos handle it.
Yep.
That's what it's going to be like.
Exactly. A bunch of jorts.
A bunch
Of jorts and old Jordans.
Jordan 4s.
Right?
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and the horrible jerseys. But Cowboys in San Francisco, Niners -4, over under 46.5. Rafa, where you at?
So the line's at 4. Eddie has it here at 4. It opened at 3, and now it's at 4. The money's coming in, obviously, on the Niners. I think the Niners win this game. The ability that they have to run the ball and the inability of Dallas to stop the run throughout the season, if they cannot stop that run, they cannot win that game. And if you're relying on Dak to make the plays to win you that game, I don't know. And they beat them last year in Dallas. They won by 6 on the road. Quarterback, you got a rookie quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my thing. I'm not sure why, but so far, Purdy's been almost perfect as a quarterback.
He's been great.
Oh, he's been
At
awesome.
some
Amazing.
point, he has to mess up.
Can we say that
And
his
I-
coach is amazing?
Yeah, for sure.
We've been saying
No
that
doubt
since
about it.
day one.
Best play caller in the league, no?
Yes.
Next to Andy
Right.
or
Yeah, or maybe not.
Bellamy or
Those guys.
whatever
Yeah.
his name is. Yeah.
So what do you think? And you think Purdy's going to have a bad game? Is due?
I think he's due for a bad game, and Cowboys at least cover.
He had a bad game against the Raiders, which left the Raiders in the game.
He still scored 30 plus.
Oh, 100%. Raiders defense is,
yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders defense didn't play though.
I like
Right?
where I like where your
they
head's
didn't
at.
they didn't show up.
I agree with Jacob. I think time is up. I think. Listen, there's a reason why rookie quarterbacks aren't that good. He has proven everyone wrong. He was Mr. Irrelevant, and I do think it's time. But what you're saying about the run,
No, and the play calling, the
Yeah.
game plan, they had 2 extra days to prepare compared to the Cowboys, right?
They're pissed. The Cowboys are pissed.
I
The
saw
Cowboys
it,
can eat a
yeah.
dick. So Cowboy fans always look for an excuse for something. Oh, we have short week. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? The stars didn't line up. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
there's always something. A fan base always has an excuse for something. Yet when the season's over, oh, next year we got it. Cowboy fans, you have the best offensive line all the time. You have 95% of the. Always have 7 Pro Bowlers.
Yep.
There's always an excuse for a Cowboy fan, period. That's how the diehard ones.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ones that when you cut them, they're like those Dodger fans. I bleed blue. They bleed blue and all that shit.
They have
Okay.
stars on their chest.
They have stars. Yeah, that whole 9.
they're so
Cowboy
annoying.
fans are already looking for an
So
excuse.
annoying.
You'll see them if they lose on Sunday. Oh, well, we had a short week and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Get over it. Get over it. You got to play Tampa. Okay.
Yeah.
For real.
That
Seriously.
shit was over by halftime. You Matt Morris or what's his name? Yeah, Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore should have been game planning from halftime on.
Yeah,
Yes.
seriously.
So
So what do you think?
I like the Niners. I'm not blue chip in this game. I like the Niners to win. I don't know if they cover. I like them to win the game.
Yeah.
I used to be a Niner fan. That's
Oh, the truth
I
comes
know
out.
as a child. Shout out to Odie, man.
Probably had a dog named Montana or something.
No, never. We didn't have
Rice.
dogs when we were kids, but I would have named them Rice for sure. No, I think the Niners will have a great game plan, and Purdy's good enough to execute it. They don't need a great quarterback. They've shown you, right?
No, they game plan. I mean, he's been the best quarterback they've
You
had.
see that the last play to Ayuk, that throwing touchdown, where he's just running back and forth.
It's just,
Amazing.
I
Yeah,
mean-
no. He made plays.
and they have more talent on offense than anybody, and they have the best defense in the league.
Number 1 defense in the league. Number 1 rush defense in the league.
Debo,
Right?
CMC, Kittle. It's a fucking
Oh,
all-star
no.
team.
It's an all-star team back there. The O-line's really good. Defensive line. Defense holds teams 77 yards a game on the ground.
That's crazy.
Warner's
Number
a
one
stud.
Warner's a stud.
Hafunga,
They got studs everywhere.
best safety in the league.
And at the end of that game, they had most of the defense
One of
on
the
the
best.
sideline. And then, of course, how can we not mention the probably defensive player of the year, Nick Bosa?
Oh man, I saw a thing on Nick Bosa. They did a pregame thing where he changed his whole diet, and so I'm watching it with my wife, and she's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "What do you mean, who's that?" Like the dude, he changed his whole eating, and
We should do that.
we should probably do that. But he said he watched film from her first 2 years, and he said he was just a half second late.
So he fixed it.
He fixed that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And he is unbelievable, man. He is a monster.
Yeah, I'm still going with the Niners. It wouldn't shock me, though, if the Cowboys won this game, obviously.
I would think it would shock
I would
me.
shock it.
I would be shocked. I would
Really?
be shocked. Yes, but this has an awesome feel to it. Just Cowboys Niners in the playoffs.
Oh, it's great.
It's just been historically an amazing game. So that's our divisional roundup. Thank you to customcars.com. Custom with the K, cars with the Z. Go check that website out. Go find a truck. And don't forget to mention that you were sent by 2 nobodies and a mic, and you'll get a great deal.